Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy MB. It's been a 3-week hiatus, but it's time to get back to it. Alright, so we're going to show you what ended up happening with the last funded account I was working on, and I blew it up. So, Thursday, January 2nd, I had a pretty good day, and then on this Friday, I remember specifically that I didn't trade all day until like the last 10 minutes, and I wanted to use 2 contracts because, I had FOMO for missing that whole day. And so first trade was like a $200 loser. Second trade, same thing. So I ended up losing 490. And like I said, I was using 2 contracts, so I really should have been only down like 250 bucks. And that just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. And so on that Monday, I think I ended up taking 1 trade, 1 loss, and so just 2 days in a row. And after that, it just kind of set me on tilt. Like the next day, I had a terrible day. Was able to kind of mentally reset the day after that. This was a really good trade. I remember I took it at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. It was a really good trade, which I could have held a little bit longer or even used more contracts because, like I said, this day I was averaging with 3 contracts. So had I done that with this one, I could have had a $2,200 winner, which would have made up for that day. Just really wasn't in the right mental headspace. And then again on this day, ended up over trading. Took 5 trades. Too many losers, and so blew up that account. The good thing was I did take a $2,000 payout, and so I spent like $377.40 on that account. Ended up taking a $2,000 payout, so kind of like 10x my money. So, although the account blew up, I was still able to make a profit. But the good news is that I ended up buying another account from MyFundedFutures for $60, and I did end up taking a payout on the last day of the month. And so 10 or 20x my money on this account. I still have it. And this is what my January looked like on this account. Only 2 losing days, but those 2 losing days were both $1,250 each. So max losses on both of those days. So that's something I really got to get under control. I don't lose much, but when I do lose, they're big losers. So like on this account, I had like a 10-day winning streak. I kept the losses minimally here. But then right here, these 2 days, just way too big of a losses, more than I would like. And so same thing on this account, 2 $1,200 trades. So that's another $2,400 that I could have had to this month, which January would have been over 5,000. So definitely gonna have to focus on that going into February. And this is something else that I was doing as well as that I wasn't doing before, is really tracking all of my trades, like the exact setups, what works for me, what doesn't. And so if I go to this trade setup here, I've tracked all my trades, the mistakes that I made, the setups, and so really just focusing on the exact setups that work for me. And so that brings us into what we got moving forward, and we're gonna retry the Don't Blow Up challenge. So we got a part 2. All right, so as you can see, we have my funded future account. This is the funded one. I did take that $1,200 payout, so now my balance is at $1,500. And if you look at the bottom left, I have 2 new accounts. So my plan for these are going to be to link these up. I'll be group trading all of these straight from the funded account. That way, any trade that I normally would have took, they'll be taken as well on these combines. And then I also picked up 2 more Tradeify accounts. Now I picked up one 50K and then one 100K. This account right here, I think that one's already blown up. It just hasn't like rebuild, so it's still showing. So I'll only be trading these 2. So essentially, I have 2 different accounts. I have my funded account with the other 2 MyFundedFutures that are all going to be linked up. So it's those, and then it's going to be these 2 that are linked up. And so essentially it's just 2 accounts. So I'll be taking max probably like 4 trades a day if I need to on these 2 or on these 3 accounts. If my first trade is a loser, it'll be $250. If I take a second $250 loss, I'll be done with these, and then I'll move on to these accounts. And same thing, 1 loser, another loser, I'll be done for the day. So max 4 trades a day. That's my goal. We'll see how strict I am, but let's review these goals. So for the Don't Blow Up challenge, we have rule number 1, don't blow up. Rule number 2, like I mentioned before, a $500 daily loss limit per 50K account. So on this 100K account, I do intend on using 2 contracts. So the leader will have 1, this one will have 2. So technically, if I have a losing day on that 100K account, it'll be $1,000. So rule number 3 is pretty similar to rule number 2. No more than 2 contracts per 50K. Actually, I'm going to change that to 1. No more than 1 contract per 50K. So on the 100K account, I'll be using 2 contracts. Rule number 4, do not add to losers. So with rule number 3 being in place, I technically am not even able to add to a loser because I'm only going to be using 1 contract. So 1 lot, 1 contract per trade. But yeah, just as a precaution, I won't be adding to losers. Once it hits my stop loss, I'm out. And then rule number 5, no overnight trades. Like I mentioned in the last video when I first started this challenge, I do like taking overnight trades. They tend to work out. But just so I won't be addicted to the charts, I have a strict window of trading when I'll be done. It just helps prevent over trading. And then just kind of another side rule is that I'll try to be trading between like 7 to 11. I really don't really like to be trading after that, just because when I look at the stats, if I look at like my best times to trade, they're between like 8 and 11 in the morning. Well, I guess 11 on this account is pretty bad. But yeah, if you notice, like in the morning it's green, in the afternoon / at night it's red. Or at least more red than green, more green than red here. So I'll be sticking to trading in the mornings. I just find that it's been working out really well, and so I can take that first trade, 1 to 2 setups, and then just be done for the day. But that's pretty much it. Quick update, quick recap. Just needed some time to focus on this funded account, take a payout, and just hone in on my craft. So I'll be looking forward to trying this challenge again. Hopefully be a little bit more strict than I was the first time around, because I really didn't follow my rules. Pretty much all the rules that I had set for myself, aside from rule number 1, I ended up breaking. And then again, just to clarify, this challenge isn't saying that I'm not going to lose the accounts. I just don't want to lose them either in one trade or in one day. So when I say don't blow up, it's like don't lose your discipline right there in the moment. If it takes me 5 days and I lose every single day and I blow up, or it takes me 2 to 3 weeks, I think the last challenge I lasted 3 weeks on all the accounts before they all were compromised, then so be it. But as long as it's not in one day and as long as it's not in one trade, then to me that's a success. But ultimately, we want to pass, take a payout, never blow up, and then buy an R8. So we'll see how I do the second go around. Catch you tomorrow on the recap. I love you.